Good morning. It is Sunday morning, June the 6th, about 8:05 a.m. here in Nebraska. We've been traveling on this little tiny highway coming up from the 70, making it up to the 80. And we're about to jump on the 80 here in about, 7 miles. It's nice because I started driving about 3 a.m. And I've not had maybe every half hour a car pass me and going the other direction. Other than that, it's been very quiet. Now that sun's up and people are waking up these little farming communities, I'm starting to see a little bit more traffic, but it's pretty decent. It's really pretty. I've seen some wildlife. A skunk ran across the road. Saw some deer over in the field eating. Saw a couple coyotes. I don't know if it was like a little shrew or mouse or something ran across the road. But yeah, it's nice and peaceful out here. Just me and my sunflower seeds. And this morning I am drinking a Diet Pepsi. Anyhow, so I'm kind of concerned a little bit because I don't know what we're getting back for time after midnight tonight. I thought we were going to be okay because I'm like, I get 9 hours back. Alex gets 9 hours back. Right now I'm standing at 11 hours of my 70. I think tonight we should start getting our hours back. It's the 8th day. I have about 5 hours left to drive, 6 hours left to drive. Let me get a drink, hold on. Sunflower seed. Okay. But then I was looking at Alex's, and it looks like on the 8th day, which was his first day after the reset, he only drove like 4 hours. So, and I can't see mine until I stop. So I don't even know what we have coming back for hours tonight. So we may be pretty late. I don't know. I gotta look at this, and maybe I'll call in and talk to one of the ECT people and see if they can see what we have coming back for hours. Hopefully, as long as I have 10 hours coming back tonight, I think I can get us there. After Alex does his shift tonight, he has 11 hours left, period. I started out with 15 hours left. So I could really drive my full drive time today of 7 hours. And as long as I have something coming back tonight, I'll be good. Alex only has 11 hours to be online today. That's not even just all drive time. That's like 11 hours from the time he goes on to the time he has to go off. So that could potentially run us really short if he doesn't get time back. Now, if we both get at least 9 hours back, we're good. We'll be able to make our drop-in time, and then we'll be doing our 34-hour reset. If not, that's going to really throw a wrench in things. It's going to make our load late, because here's the thing is, whatever we get back tonight, then we have a full day where we didn't drive. So we won't get any more hours back until, today's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, after midnight, so early Tuesday morning. Is when we'll get more hours back. Well, this is due Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. So, depends on where we are. When I looked at the map a little while ago, when I first started driving, it showed we were about 1,500 miles from our drop. We, just on an average of 50 miles an hour, that's going to be 500 miles per 10-hour shift, which would take I will do mine today, and actually we'll do more than 500. Usually it's like 520, 540, 550, something like that. If we can run without stopping for traffic. Are we back? I think we're back.
After 3/4 of a
I just
mile,
have to
turn
say,
left and then enter the highway.
T-Mobile service for a truck driver absolutely sucks. So we will be switching back to Verizon because T-Mobile is trash in between big cities. It is absolutely horrible. I will pay the extra to continue to get service that I can use, because so many times, even AT&T, the tablet is AT&T, the tablet has service way more than we do on T-Mobile. On Verizon, we hardly ever lost service. So
turn left and then enter the highway.
Anyways, back to my dilemma of hours. So hopefully we will have enough time. Because what's going to happen if we don't have enough time to get this in when we're supposed to, and be able to do our 34-hour reset before our next load that we have to pick up on Wednesday, I'm going to have them remove that load from us, because that is a high priority load that has to be delivered on time. And if we're not there to pick it up, then we'll take it away from us anyhow. So there's a lot riding on this. As far as getting us to Phoenix, if we're late, we're going to have to look for something else, which may have to take us into South California, then from South California to Phoenix, which it's not too hard to do. It's just I would feel better getting into Phoenix. I mean, normally on a home time, it's like, yeah, I want to be there, but we don't have money at stake. Well, now that plane tickets and hotels have been purchased, non-refundable, that changes the game, right? So we need to be there on time. And that's the only reason why it's so important. Normally it'd be like, okay, well, if we're late, we'll just slide our home time back a day, right? That's not that big of a deal. But this one is, it's imperative, and that's why I started trying to plan with them early. And this is why I told her, hey, there's a good chance that I'm not going to be able to make it all the way to Portland before I have to do a reset. Oh, sure you will. The system says you'll be there, and da-da-da. Okay, the system doesn't account for traffic, accidents, closures, detours, stop getting fuel, doesn't account for a lot of things. When we have to switch out, it takes time to do a post-trip and then for a pre-trip. So, we have to do that along with, so it's an hour worth of a DOT break, 30 minutes for me, 30 minutes for the other driver, right? So 30 minutes for me during my shift, 30 minutes for Alex during his shift. Plus, we are human. We do have to stop to go potty. Plus, we do need to eat, so we do need to stop and grab something to eat. We try to do that at fuel stops. We try to do that on our breaks. But sometimes when I'm at a break and I have to take my break, sometimes it is literally on the side of the road at a rest stop, and there's nothing there to eat. So, when we go by, we do need to stop and get something. So it doesn't take into account for those things. That's why whenever I do my calculation, I take the total miles divided by 50, because we generally do a 65 mile an hour speed limit, except for when we get into towns, constructions. That also kind of helps a little bit with taking our breaks. And generally, we are pretty close to being there on time. And I figured it that trip was going to be closer to 60 hours with all the extra. And then I had to take away 3 hours due to time change. So that was going to run me about 57 hours is what I kind of figured out. Well, the system is figuring 52. Also, it took us 8 hours to get an empty trailer because they ran us around try to get an empty trailer. Sent us 6 hours away to get an empty trailer because there wasn't an empty trailer at our drop in Florida. So we had to go to the Atlanta area. Send us to 3 places before we could actually find a trailer. The first 2 places didn't have trailers. So all that comes off of our time that we had. I had 30 hours, Alex had 30 hours. We would have had enough time if we had our empty to make this trip. But you gobbled up 8 hours of running me around trying to find an empty trailer. There you go. So when I talked to the planner and I told her I didn't think we were going to make it, she's like, oh yeah, you will. And then you'll be able to do your reset and then pick up this load on Wednesday. And I was like, okay, if you say so. And then be in Phoenix by Wednesday midnight for this delivery. Okay. Yeah. I really don't think that's going to happen. We'll probably end up getting a service failure on this run. I shouldn't have accepted this run. I should have told her I'm not comfortable with it and asked for a different run. I actually asked her, I said, do you have one that's going to Southern California rather than all the way up to Portland? But she's like, well, you've already accepted this one, and I think that looking, I said, yeah, but is it the best for our situation with the hours we have left before we have to do a reset? Or should we do our reset in Florida so that we have a full 70 to do this whole week to run whatever? But whatever, it is what it is. If we get a service failure, we get a service failure. It'll only be the second one that we've got. The first one we fought. There shouldn't have been a service failure. But the CSR refused to remove it to appease the customer. And this one, it could bite me in the butt because it is a customer who this is an expedited order and it needs to be delivered on time. Just like the next load is also an expedited order that needs to be delivered on time. It's a big customer, and I believe that the customer I'm hauling now is the one that I got the last service failure for. But I don't know. We'll see. I'll figure it out. I'll put it in my macro 22, which is my running late macro, with an explanation of, well, it took 8 hours to find a trailer, which ran us behind on our hours that we would have had to complete this. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyhow, so that's that. I'm on the I-80 now. Fuel in 1 hour, which is good because we are almost at a quarter of our fuel left. It's almost to the red. Usually when it gets to the red, it's going to start yelling at me, find fuel immediately, even though I can go probably another 400 miles on it. But yeah, I'm like 71 miles from fuel, so I'm good. And then our next stop for fuel is supposed to be in Boise, at the TA in Boise. We'll see how far we get there to make it. It's going to be interesting. So, anyways, well, I just wanted to let everybody know an update on us. We are still on track to be home on time. Even if they take away our next load to give us something else, we still have plenty of time to get home by Sunday. And if all else fails, if I get to Southern California, they can run us deadhead to Phoenix. But usually there's something that I can take that we can T-call into Phoenix that's going to the other side of the world. And it's fine. And they do really good. Swift really does good. In fact, they've even started, they're creating a group that does nothing but work on getting drivers planned for their home time. But they generally do pretty good, especially if you call and you work with the planners. They do a really nice job. So, all right, everybody. Well, have a great Sunday. Be safe. Enjoy your day. It's a beautiful day here in Nebraska. We are almost to, where are we getting fuel at? It is North Platte, Nebraska is where we're getting fuel. So we're pretty close to Wyoming. So yeah, I mean, we're getting there. We're getting there. So, all right, y'all. Be safe. Love y'all. Take care.